Hello. I hope I fixed my noise gate so that it doesn't cut me off. Last stream, I'm still working on my audio. I'm like slowly learning how to do audio better. And I put my noise gate down lower because I'm a pretty quiet talker, but I have to have a noise gate because I have an AC in my room, so it's like I don't need you guys to hear my AC. Hey Crystal, hey Lovely Tears, hey Milk Bread, Sleeping Ginger, hello, Red Ratoon, the Broomia, not the I can't read. Hey Warrior Cat Fan, Snow Moth, hello. Hello, Fierce, the Demon Wolf. Octosoda, hey. I don't know if I'm gonna work on this all stream. I might just do like some Warrior Cat designs afterward. I don't know how, this might be a short stream. Like 2 hours or something. Because I have a lot of stuff I'm working on, so I can only work on a little bit of it on stream. This takes place during the Path of Stars. Path of Stars. You finally caught a stream on time. Big win, big win. Hey Leafpool, welcome back. Okay, let's get to drawing. 54 cats is becoming... I'm realizing just how much cats that is as I draw this. Is a Belinx? Is a Belinx? I'm gonna do that one. That one sounds about right. Okay. I guess we'll work on... Shattered Ice and Quick Water. Yeah, this picture has a lot of cats. Shattered Ice, that's who I said. I'm like sitting here like, what's his name? It's Shattered Ice. You'll probably be able to hear all of my like mouse clicks and stuff because I set the noise gate pretty low. I was trying to make it so that it would only pick up my voice and not like my mouse clicks or anything, but I'm still working on like the fine tuning of it. Okay. I like usually avoid audio stuff like the plague, so it takes me a very long time to actually like do anything about it. Audio stuff is like wizardry. I don't get it at all. Ice Cube Cat. Hey Fox Flower. Shattered Ice is giving Quick Water a hard time. I don't think that they're related, but yeah, that's Gorsfer. I haven't done Gorsfer yet. Oops. I don't think Quick Water or Shattered Ice. Maybe they are. I don't think it would affect anything if they were like brother and sister. It's implied that they're not though, so I don't know. Okay, let's get on the right. I was doing this at like 8 maybe? Maybe even smaller than that. Probably 7. Hey Twixie. Let's see. How do I want to simplify his eyes? I might just have his like this. Because if I do it like this, there's not really that much that can be misinterpreted. When they're this tiny, it's hard to like pick out which details do you want to keep and which ones you're gonna just let go. Like, that's probably a little bit too detailed for his... maybe not. He has a black nose, though. There we go. Currently in class. It is Thursday. I keep saying that I should stream on a weekday, on a weekend day, but I've just never been, I don't know. I guess I do stuff on the weekends, like errands and stuff. Shattered Eyes? He is one of the cats that dug the tunnels under WindClan. Him and Jackdaw's Cry did it together. And he's like credited with creating the tunnelers on the moor. But then, even though he's like credited with like this huge piece of WindClan history, he actually just ends up in RiverClan at the end of Dawn of the Clans. So... But he doesn't really ever do anything in the books, except for be a minor character and like a pain in the butt. He's kind of like the Dawn of the Clan's Thornclaw, where he just like constantly argues with the leader and like is grumpy, I guess. What's an AS exam? How do I want his leg to be? Hey, Rappy. I honestly don't know why Shattered Ice ends up going into RiverClan. I feel like they just do it to like give RiverClan more bodies and to give like RiverClan a cat from the mountains. But no, they have Dappled Pelt, so it's like, I don't know why. AS is the first year of college A levels. Interesting. Once I was in college, I don't feel like I had any standardized tests. You just have tests for, like, classes. Oh, great. You read the 2, like, worst novellas, Rappy. How do you like them? It can only go up from there. Despite not being a WindClan cat. That's so true. He was never a WindClan cat. He was on the moors, but he was never actually a WindClan cat when they changed their names to WindClan. It's called Spotted Leaf's Heart because it's like about her falling in love with Thistleclaw and like I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Okay, you can hear me now. That's good. My mic is picking up. Let me know if it is cutting my voice off. I raised the, so I lowered the gate and then I raised the, like, open time for when it recognizes that I'm talking, that it'll, like, automatically stay open. It'll probably pick up a lot more of my, like, keyboard and mouse, but I assume you guys would prefer that rather than just having my voice cut off while I'm, like, talking. My mic is very close to my face, so I don't get it. Like I said, audio eludes me. Oh. I need to zoom out a little bit so I can see the whole, because his whole entire bottom leggies are gray. No, it's not even that. That's like a retcon. It's always been said that Spotted Leaf like wanted to be a medicine cat, but it's like outright stated in Spotted Leaf's heart that she only became a medicine cat because she wanted to get away from Thistleclaw. And it's like, dude, that's like so dumb. Redtail's death's horrible. Yeah, exactly, Rappy. I remember it being like, it's kind of a nothing burger. I mean, yeah, you get like some Redtail stuff at the beginning, and it does make a little bit of, like, it's decent at the beginning, but man, at the point, not only is it like Ravenpaw's completely characterized wrong, but they get like the basic facts of that scene mixed up, because Redtail, that's like a whole point in the book that like Redtail's an honorable warrior and he would never kill another cat because it's against the warrior code. But in Redtail's death, he just outright kills Oakheart, and I'm like, that did not happen. It did not happen like that. So I don't know. It's just bad. He didn't kill Oakheart, though. Oakheart died fighting him, but it was because they knocked, like, stones loose or whatever, and he, like, it was an accidental death or whatever. Yeah, it's just a bad book. There's no point in, like, trying to explain it away. It's just ignore it. We all collectively ignore those two novellas happen. Yeah, I feel like Oakheart... Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just bad. I think that was one of the first novellas that was written by a new author that they brought onto the team, which excuses it. Spotted Leaf's Heart, it doesn't excuse, because it was written by Vicky, who was one of the writers since, like, the very beginning. Like, she helped write the books. She didn't, like, I don't think she started genuinely writing for the books until the novellas started coming out, but she, like, helped create the story. So that's why Redtail's death is, like, higher on the list than Spotted Leaf's Heart, but even then, they're both just, like, so far down that it's not even, there's not even a point. Like, I probably will really, well, I mean, whenever I reread those, it's to, like, be flabbergasted by how stupid they are again. Didn't Redtail accidentally kill someone / died from his injuries? No, that was Adderfang. Lovely. You're thinking about Mudfur and Adderfang's fight, I believe. Oh, actually, no, you might be thinking of What was the name? Whiteclaw? Oh wait, Whiteclaw's a drink. I have to type in warriors on Google. Not Whiteclaw, White Fang. No, he was killed by Lionheart. Sunfish? Oh my gosh, you're right. Well, she died from infected wounds. But she was left critically injured. Cracked open a White Claw and took a sip. White Fang. White Fang and Sunfish both die on Sunning Rocks. To Redtail and Lionheart. That's crazy. Let's see who else Redtail killed. On his page. Killed victims. Sunfish indirectly caused. See, he indirectly caused her. He didn't actually outright kill her. He just like... She just couldn't heal from the wounds. That's why I'm like scared to read rewrites, Crystal, because then I'm like, my knowledge. That's not true. Sometimes I'll read rewrites because I find it interesting. I remember someone in the fandom had. I guess I don't read like outright rewrites. But there's stuff that I don't mind. Sunfish was good, yeah. I was sad that I couldn't add her in the, I couldn't add her in the River Clan camp picture, because I think she died, like, a month or two before I could add her. How do I simplify her hair to be... I guess I'll just give her two rapid looking things. I give her hair that looks like water crests, because her name's Quickwater. I'm very clever that way. That was sarcastic. But I think I'll just give her two and call it a day. Actually, I'll just give her one... Yeah. Something like that. They straight up spoil the first arc. Have you not read the first arc yet? I thought you said you had, Rappy. To be fair, Redtail's deck came out like 15 years after. So... I don't think they were thinking of people who were picking up Redtail's deck before even reading the first arc. I wonder how many people, like, genuinely, their first book of Warriors was a novella. Like, that's an interesting question to think, because there's probably not that many. I know that there's people that, like, their first books were, like, the mangas, or their first book was a super edition, but I don't think I've ever heard of someone that was like, yeah, my first book was Tiger Claw's Fury. It was Ravenpaw's Farewell. Oh, well, at least that's like one of the better ones new. I could see how you would want to pick up the rest of the series if you just read Ravenpaw's Farewell. Although I feel like that's probably kind of confusing if you've never read. Because you have to know about SkyClan and you have to know about Redtail's past and all this stuff. But it is a very sweet book. Interesting, Rappy. Have you read Goosefeather's Curse, then? I feel like that one spoils some stuff. Okay, what's happening with her arm here? I like Fireheart. Oh yeah, that one would spoil you. It also spoils the like SkyClan thing and all that. Oh my gosh. That's why I feel like the best way to like experience Warrior Cats is to read it in release order first, not chronologically per se. Because I feel like a lot of the newer like supplementary books, especially the novellas, are like expecting you to be to have been completely caught up when they're released. So like that happened with Goosefeather's Curse. That happened with Maple Shade's Vengeance because Maple Shade. Oops, sorry, I just touched my mic. Maple Shade's Vengeance happened. I think it came out right after Omen of the Stars, and that was like her first appearance. I think it came out right after Crooked Star's Promise too. So Maple Shade's Vengeance is like the last time we really see her from release. I mean, obviously we see her. She's not dead. Well, she is dead, but you know, not double dead. She's dark forested. Yeah, I could see that. It's like it's interesting. I don't know, yeah. Thoughts on the headcanons that Firestar was a purebred breed? Like, my design for him is definitely based on like a Abanesian thing, but I genuinely think he was probably just like an orange cat, like an orange American short hair cat that was very orange. But it's like for design purposes, it makes him more interesting if he was like had an interesting like design. I really want them to make a novella about Snowtuft. Maybe like Gorstar or like one of the second leaders of Dawn of the Clans, like Sparrowstar or someone. And I want to say Rowanfur, but that's just because I'd like to have more of an exploration of like him losing faith in himself. I think that they could genuinely make like a Dark Forest novella set that had like Silverhawk, Maggotail, and Snowtuft in it. So, but I genuinely don't think they're gonna make any more novellas. I think that the most likely scenario, if they're gonna ever do side stories like that again, is to make graphic novel. I call them mangas because they were mangas when I was little, even though they weren't mangas. They were called mangas. I think that it would be most likely that they'd make like graphic novels of those characters. I think they're switching to graphic novels as their like novella. First time joining. Welcome, welcome, Layla. And Saga, first time joining. Is Firestar based off of a Somali? Yes, I believe so. Waiting on a golden flower. I don't know what they could do with golden flower that they didn't do with like Sasha. I feel like they should do more novellas of like warrior ceremonies. Like in my ideal Rowan star / Rowan Fur novella would be him. I would want to see him. This is a spoiler, Rappy. Like when he goes to StarClan and gets rid of all of his 9 lives. Like I want to see that scene. And I want to see the build up to that scene. That's like the climax. Did I say Rowan Fur? I'm sorry. I think I was... Yeah, Rowan Claw. That's his name, right? Rowan Star. See... I don't get that, Vin. Seeing... I feel like if I learned all my stuff from, like... map stories, then... I would just be so confused. And especially nowadays when there's like so many AUs, I'd just be like, this is confusing. I like reading it. I like reading it and like coming up with my own designs and concepts and I don't know. And conclusions, coming to my own conclusions. Hey Jeffy. Hey Pavlisik. Hey Kaya. I try to say the first part of your name every single time, and then I'm like, oh yeah, you're Kaya, because I don't look at it until the end. Yeah, I mean, they didn't have the audiobooks when I was growing up, but now they have audiobooks that come out like the same exact day that like almost, I feel like, then the first ones come out. But it's not like Warrior Cats is that hard of a read. So it's like, why not read it? I don't know. I don't get people who are like, I hate reading. I don't get it. Why do people hate reading? I feel like people make AUs sometimes, and I'm like, if you had just read, like, the Broken Code, you wouldn't have to make that AU, you know? Like, if you had just read this one, like, this concept is just the same exact concept that was already in the book. Or it's like, why don't you just make your own story instead of making an AU with Warrior Cats? Like, if your AU is good enough. Like, why waste it on Warrior Cats? I mean, you have to sit still in bed when you're going to bed, right? Like, read right before bed. Yeah, it takes me like an afternoon to finish one of the main series books. I know I'm like way above the age demographic, but they're not that hard. The only problem with reading before bed is that sometimes I'll get too wrapped up in the book and I won't go to bed. I remember that happens all the time with one specific Warrior Cats book, and it's not even like my favorite book or anything, but it's one of the books that when I start reading it, I like just can't stop, like I can't stop reading it until I'm done with it. And it's a Dawn of the Clans book. It's the Blazing Star one, and it's not even like that great of a book, but for some reason whenever I start reading it, I have to read it in like one go. I'm gonna light them up. Hey, Frog, Casey. Yeah, that's also the thing. I did that with the manga. I do that with mangas still, because they always have like a little coffee shop in Barnes and Noble that you can just like read, and then you can put it back. I like Starflower, yeah. I don't know why. I mean, like, I'm not saying that The Blazing Star is that great of a book, but for some reason, like, the pacing in it, I think it's just the way that the chapters end, like, just make you want to keep reading. I mean, there's never really, like, a giant payoff, but it's just, like, each chapter ends on a cliffhanger, so you're like, I might as well just keep reading. Or maybe it's, like, the book is, there's nothing happening, so it's just, like, an easy read, or I don't know. I haven't read it yet. I'm reading the first battle right now while I'm working on my magnum opus, so. My favorite James L. Barrie one. Probably, honestly, I really like the SkyClan and the Stranger one, but that's because I really like SkyClan. But I also like the Shadow and River Clan one. I think it's a very interesting character look. Yeah. It kind of reverses what I felt was like Stormfur and Feathertail's personality, a Shadow and River Clan. But I still find it interesting. It also, there's this one, it's like Trouble in Your Neighborhood. I don't know, it's a PMV that somebody made for that graphic novel, and it's really interesting. I really like the directing choices that they made with it. Loaf cat, he loafy. He's just a little loaf. One Star's Confession. Man, I forgot that you basically have to read Leper Star's Honor and One Star's Confession back to back. I'm so sorry. Those are both like some of the weakest, man. Actually, you probably shouldn't read One Star's Confession. At least not all the way through Rappy, because there's a giant time skip. Probably like 10 chapters in, where it skips from like the second arc. Well, first there's a giant time skip after the first arc happens. And you'll know that because there's like one paragraph where they describe everything that happens in the first arc. So you have to kind of stop reading it after that. Because then it skips to the second arc, and then there's a giant time skip after that skips to like the 6th arc. So you're not going to be able to read all of One Star's Confession if you don't want to be spoilered. Like, you should really read One Star's Confession after the 3rd book of the 6th series. I have the book too. J Feather's fine. Okay, how are you loafing, my dude? I'll just loaf you like that. But yeah, you're not going to be able to read all of One Star's confession. That's another problem with that book, is like it has some of the worst pacing. Honestly, I think if you're just reading to where he's one paw, you're fine. Let me check. I can't tell. Because the wiki doesn't have detailed chapter information on One Star's confession yet. But you're really only going to be able to read like the first, I want to say at most 5 chapters. You only ever read Dawn of the Clans? Well, at least that's a good one to have only read. One through 5. Whoopsies. Whipped out the book and started skimming. I remember being super disappointed that there was like a giant time skip and we didn't get to see any of WingClan's point of view during the first arc. I remember reading One Star's confession and being like, I hate this. How do I draw on live camera? I only draw cats on live camera. Or I only draw, like, cats and dogs and, like, stuff I'm extremely okay with, like, autopiloting on camera. Like, I can't draw people. Like, anything that I'd have to actually be thinking extremely hard about, I can't draw on camera. That's why it's hard for me to, like, sometimes sketch initial... Oops, he's got a little mustache. It's hard for me to sketch initial stuff on camera, like initial pictures on camera, because I'm thinking really hard about my sketch, and I just have a hard time, like, divvying up my information. I want him to have kind of like a blue tint, I think. But also be a little bit lighter so that you can see his face. Oh, yeah, lovely. I know who you're talking about. I know how to draw people, and I can draw people. It just takes me a lot longer, and I'm using a lot of references, and I'm like redrawing and refining it a lot more, and yeah. It's just a lot more like brain power. With cats, I can go on autopilot a little bit because I've drawn like probably over like 10,000 cats in my lifetime. With like each animated frame I have to do and crap. Sun Shadow. Is it a big... Oh, skip the prologue? Is the prologue like the end of the book. Like A Vision of Shadows. Thanks, Crinkle-Loo. I also like making characters interact. I'm gonna light him up a little bit so that you can see him. He's like one of the darkest characters. It's that scene. I know which one you're talking about. Like the main climax. Oh god. Yeah, I know what one you're talking about. Yeah. See, in this specific interaction, this is Cloudspot's Dappled Pelt and Sunshadow, and I imagine that Sunshadow is listening very intently to Dappled Pelt and Cloudspot's stories of the mountains, and they're all like, I don't know, reminiscing about the mountains, and then I imagine that maybe over here Shattered Ice and Quickwater. Shattered Ice is like, hey, you should go join them, because he like notices that Quickwater is like listening to them. And he's like, hey, you should go join them. And she's like, I'm SkyClan Cat, I hate everyone, and bleh. Quickwater's kind of cray. And that's their story for those 5 cats. They all have stories. Yeah, Sunshadow is Shadowstar's nephew, but Tall Shadow's up here talking to Windrunner while Clear Sky sulks menacingly on the side, so Sunshadow is listening to someone else right now. Thanks, Saga. Really attached. I love the Dawn of the Clan cats. Anytime that I can draw them is like, I love them. I just read Thunder Rising again, and man, Moonshadow's like death is like, when you step back and think about it, it's just like, ugh, horrible. Yeah, Clear Sky. You know, I was sad that I had to make Clear Sky like one of the smallest cats in the picture. You know, my whole brain was like, put him up front. I want him to be up here. But I'm like, there ain't no way he's not going to be sitting in the tallest spot at Fourtrees at any given moment. You know that man is not on the ground talking to the peons. Yeah, the Dawn of the Clan's deaths are pretty cray. Bumble's death is insane. The deaths in Thunder Rising are like some of the most brutal they've ever written, I feel like. They're just, well, that's not true. Sparkpelt's like whole entire scene in Squirrel Flight's Hope is some of like the most heart-wrenching stuff they've ever put to paper, but I mean, Thunder Rising is pretty darn close. Where it's like you can't think about it too hard, otherwise it starts to make you go crazy. I think One Whisker's a little bit older than Firepaw. Just like maybe a couple of months older. See, I don't remember any of the deaths in the first arc really affecting me that much. But Greywing, man, that was probably the one that I like, oh geez, it's like hard to read. Or it's not hard to read, it's like it's a satisfying, but it's also just like really sad. You're just like, my poor baby. Go found StarClan. Wow, Sunshadow really be just like, I'm black. I'm a black cat. I was like, where's all of his markings? But all of his markings are in front. Sun Shadow. White Fang. I think it's hilarious that White Fang was the mentor to White Claw, and they both had white as their prefix. I'm like, Yeah, Greywing, it was written very well. It's crazy because if you read like the editor notes for Dawn of the Clans, they were gonna let Greywing pass on after the first book, but they liked him so much that they kept him around until the last book. They like kept pushing back his like demise, and I love that. I'm just like, oh my god, my sweetheart. Yeah, that one's also, I remember I like put the book, I was kind of frustrated at the end of that book, Lovely, because they did all of the protagonists so dirty at the end of that book and I really liked the protagonists of Broken Code. And so when they're just like, everyone takes an L, and I'm just like, oh my god, I hate this. I had to like pause from reading it for like a month. I mean, StarClan was definitely around before Greywing died, but I like to think that, because before he dies, he gives all the other clans the like names, so I like to think that when he passes on, and I like to also headcanon that he gave a life to every single founding leader, and that he also gave the name StarClan when he passed on to the other. I just like thinking of Greywing as the founder of StarClan, so he can be a founder of something too. But it's arguable. I mean, they did have the spirit cats at the end of the first battle. Realistically, it was probably like Shaded Moss or something. He was... No, because Brightstream was there. It's hard to... It's just a headcanon. I don't know, Lovely. I know some people like to imagine that it was like Tiger Claw. Because he like leaves the moonstone when he like as he's dying. So like people like to think that it might have been Blackfoot. Maybe it was Darkstripe. Actually, Darkstripe could never kill anyone. He's just a fail. It could have been Blackfoot, but I feel like if it was Blackfoot, we would have seen that in his novella. Like they would have written that. I love Darkstripe. But I love him because he's just such a failure. Not for the same reasons I like Clear Sky, the antagonist. I like Darkstripe because he's like comedically bad at being a villain. Kind of like Soul. So, I don't know. It could have just been an accident. It could have been Broken Star that killed Lionheart. No, I don't think we ever figure out who actually killed him. Well, it's not really... I don't think Tiger Claw would have done that because he doesn't start planning with Broken Star until he's in camp, I think. We were talking about Lionheart. How Lionheart died, Marsh. And also welcome. I think Black Star was on a list to, like, there was a list on the website for a while that, was like, who do you want to be the next Super Edition? And it had Blackfoot. Let me double check really quick. It's been almost an hour, so let me do a hand stretch while I look this up. So there was a pool, and the pool was for Leopard Star, 1 star, or Black Star for the next Super Edition, and Leopard Star won. And then 1 star came in second. So they both got Super Editions. Black Star was on that list, and he just got a novella. Also, you'll love to see when your Warrior Cat Designs is on the front page of the Warrior Cat website. Okay. I don't think Russifer would have killed... maybe. I honestly think it was probably like Broken Star or something. Or Clawface. It could be Shredtail. Shredtail went to the Dark Forest, apparently. I need them to make some Dawn of the Clans merch, like for real. Why have we not been graced with Dawn of the Clans merchandise? See you, Marsh. Rusty has Firestar's Quest, Leopard Star's Honor, 1 star's Confession, SkyClan's Destiny. Yeah, there's a lot of leaders that get Super Editions. There's only... But there's a lot of leaders that only get novellas, too. Like Pine Star, which you read. Misty Star. So with the commissions, I probably will... Somebody has told me of a way to do commission slots on, what's the name? Coffee? And, like, I was thinking of modifying it so that people could I could open a specific amount of slots per stream on Coffee that people could get into the queue of. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing anything else with the queue that I opened on Christmas or before Christmas, but that should be opening soon. Once I can, like, get a couple more things off my plate. Does that make sense? Like, so the problem I had with doing the commissions on stream was that I was spending a lot of time setting it up for stream. So I was spending probably like, I don't know. There was a lot of like back and forth that I needed to do, and it was like throughout multiple websites. Like I would have to be keeping up with conversations on Discord and email and Twitter and Tumblr, and a lot of stuff was falling through the cracks. So if I could just do it on one website, like Coffee, and like I could have it all funneled into that one website, then it should be easier for me to efficiently get like the commissions ready for stream. Does that make sense? I feel like overall it'll have less people falling through the cracks of like me forgetting to respond and all the stuff, because some people don't like to like send another email, because then they're like, they think that if they sent one email then I saw it, and then they're like, oh well, I don't want to keep bothering her, but it's like I probably didn't see it, and I'm just like, it's crazy. Yeah, so I'm hoping that I could do something like, okay, I'll open 5 spots for a commission stream. I open it maybe like 48 hours or 24 hours before, and then once all those slots are claimed, that'll be the end of that stream, and then I can just open up 5 more like 24, 48 hours before the next one. Does that make, like, yeah. I don't know. I'm still trying to work on it. It's been a while since I like had open public commissions, so I'm still trying to work out how to do everything. Yeah, no problem. I haven't like publicly said that I was gonna do that yet because I'm still working it all out. I had like 80 people in my queue, and it got like really overwhelming, and oh my god. And then it was like some people wanted me to contact them on Twitter, and I'm just like, oh my goodness gracious. But I still appreciate the interest still. Okay, let's see if I can't make the tangents go away on these kitties. I don't know what I'll be doing after this, Rappy. My brain tells me that the most logical thing to do after this is the Moonstone, because then I would have a full set of all of the forest camps. I would have Fourtrees, and I would have the Moonstone. Like, that would be a whole entire, like, first arc set, basically. Or like the forest territory set. My heart wants me to like probably do the tribe. Like I'm kind of excited to do the tribe one because, well, the tribe one's the only one that'll be set in the second series, so that's a thing. So that's the only picture that's gonna have Hawk Frost in it. It's the only picture that's gonna have, I think that's, I don't know. It's the only picture that's gonna have any of the tribe people. I'm gonna have to fix this blade of grass right here because her tail is covering it all up. So I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I really am excited to work on the lake territories, but a specific scene that happened in the newest book makes me want to not draw the Wing Clan one yet, because something happens to the Wing Clan camp that I think would make it more interesting visually to like design without getting too spoilered. Then like I don't know. It's all a bunch of stuff. I think a little bit too much about everything in my life. And my illustrations are definitely one of them. People also want me to do Blood Clan, which I'm like slowly warming up to the idea. I mean, obviously I want to do all of them eventually. It's not like doing one is going to stop me from doing the other. But these pictures do take me like months to finish. So, I don't know. But yeah, I do work on multiple at a time. Frostpaw in each picture. She hasn't been to SkyClan. Lovely. I don't believe she's been to SkyClan. I guess she probably has, because in the newest book it's implied that she went with the leader of ShadowClan to SkyClan, so. I'm trying to like stay kind of vague for Rappy. It is extremely hard for me, because Rappy, you've probably only read like 20% of Warrior Cats. It's like, oh god, which parts are spoiled and which parts aren't. But yeah, logically I should probably do the Moonstone next. But I still don't know. I don't like doing the illustrations if I don't have a good idea of what I want to depict in them. And for the Moonstone, it's like my moon pool picture has Leaf Pool because she's the one that discovered the moon pool. So logically, I should do Mothflight as the person in the Moonstone picture, but I don't like Mothflight. I don't really want to have a picture of her because I would prefer like Firestar or somebody. So I don't know. Yeah, I was thinking like maybe the first like Medicine Cat meeting at the Moonstone. It's gotta either be a Medicine Cat meeting. I think so. I mean, they're probably just rogues. Like, they weren't actual Blood Clan until Scourge came and, like, united them all. It's funny, though, because if I put Half Moon in there, people are just gonna assume she's Mothflight anyway, because they're both white cats with green eyes. So it's like, what's the point? I mean, yeah, my designs for Mothflight and Half Moon are different, but they're not, like, it's not obvious if you're just looking at the picture and thinking, oh, it's a white cat, it's Mothflight. Actually, it's Half Moon. Yeah, I think that some of the cats that are there are like labeled as kitty pets. Like Marmalade and stuff like that. So, I don't know, it's weird. But I'm pretty sure they're just like street cats. Because it's like, in Rise of Scourge, it's like implied that there's a bunch of street cats, but they all fight each other and stuff until like Scourge comes and unites some of the cats of the street, and then it was basically like either join with me or we're gonna end you. What's with the Mothflight 8? You must be new here. Mothflight is the protagonist of my least favorite Warrior Cat book, and therefore I do not like her. I think she makes stupid decisions, and she's also very assumptuous of other people's ability being less than her own. or being more than her own. She thinks she's like, if she couldn't do it, no one can do it. And then she'll judge you harshly if you could actually do it. Cough, cough, score flight soap. Mothlight was fine until her book. Does that make sense? Like, she was fine until her book, and then she was stupid. I say as I'm drawing Mothlight. I just don't particularly enjoy her character. I know, right, Lovely? It's like implied. She's like, oh, well, I'll give them to each of the clans so that the clans are united and they have a reason not to fight each other. But I'm like, girly, you just, like, abandoned your cats. Like, people get on Clear Sky for doing that, and Mothlight does the same exact thing, except she does it 5 times. 4 times, whatever. The double standard of it all. What's my favorite warrior out of the series? I don't really have an answer. Let's see. What's my favorite warrior today? I like Gorsfer. I'm looking at Gorsfer right now, and I actually quite enjoy him. I would love to see more Gorsfer stuff, because he's like got a completely different personality than Windrunner, and I would like to see what he is like as a leader. It's like, well, that's kind of what it's like, Rappy. It's supposed to be like, oh, well, the entire clan is your kit. So you shouldn't play favorites if you have kits, you'll play favorites. But it's like, just because you would play favorites, Mothlight, doesn't mean, I don't know. It's so stupid. It's like, yeah, the entire clan was there to help her raise her kids. It's like, she's like, I feel trapped between my duties as a mom and my duties as a healer. But, like, you have your entire family to help you. Take care of the cats. So, like, I just don't get it. It's literally a her problem, and she made it an everyone problem. I don't think that they... But to be fair, I don't think that they could have written it anyway. Well, maybe if StarClan told her she couldn't, it would have been fine. But no, it was Mothlight, and she was like, ah. I just don't like... I don't like her whole purpose as a character. Like, if that makes sense. It makes a lot of cats suffer, and then she also makes them suffer. This is a spoiler if Rappy's still here. But she makes, like, cats suffer when they're going into StarClan. Like, I remember I don't like her book. I didn't like her book. I thought she was kind of like... It was just, like, really dumb that her reasons for doing crap. But then she's in Squirrelflight's Hope. She's literally on the council to judge when a specific cat goes to StarClan that had kits as a medicine cat, and is literally suggesting that that they go to the Dark Forest. Like, she literally suggests this. It's just, like, crazy. Yellowfang saves the day. Oh yeah, I'm sure she was on Yellowfang's council when she was going to StarClan. To be like, you guys, I don't think we should actually let her into StarClan. Like, she had kids. And it's like, in every single other instance of like a medicine cat having kids, none of the actual medicine cats like had troubles with their duties because they had other people raise the kittens for them. Now, of course, we know how Broken Star turned out, but she's literally the only one that was like, for some reason, didn't trust people to add. No, because she doesn't trust. I just hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It doesn't. It's just like every single time you try to like justify her actions, there's like no way to justify. I'm getting heated over warrior cats, everybody. She suggests that to a different cat, Rappy. But it's kind of implied that Yellowfang probably got that treatment when she was when she died. Getting heated over Mothfly. Oh my god. Just another nifty stream. Oh, my music died. Let's pick a different music, I guess. No, it didn't die. It's just really, really quiet. Ah, man, it's just like, I just don't... Mothlight? Yeah. I need to actually... Well, I will be rereading her book again, eventually, because I'm on the first battle, so after I finish the first battle, I'm going to be reading her book. Not the first battle, after I finish Path of Stars, but it's like... I will try to go into this book with an open mind. And maybe, just maybe, I will understand why people, like, think she's their favorite character. Well, it's kind of implied that the first, like, the first founders and, like, the first medicine cats will never truly die because, like, the knowledge and, like, their way of life or, like, their, like, traditions are still, like, going on in the clans. So, like, with that, like, it's their ideas, so they're never going to truly die. Does that make sense? At least that's how I see it. That's, it's not implied. That's like a complete and utter, like, me trying to justify why the Dawn of the Clan's cats are still around, or at least, like, the most important ones. They got the entire sky. I don't see how any... So, all of the Dark Forest cats that actually participated in the Great Battle and, like, trained the Dark Forest trainees, like, shouldn't disappear anytime soon, because as long as those trainees are still alive, then they're still thinking about them. Like, Maple Shade's still around, but it's like she fades every single time. Like, she gets more and more weak every time we see her. But, like, that shouldn't really be the case because, like, there are cats that she literally interacted with and kept her memory going. I don't know, weird. Yeah. Okay, Rappy. See ya. Yeah. And I would assume that any cat that was in, like, Secrets of the Clans, even though that entire book has been, like, retconned to infinity at this point, like, there's like notable warriors and notable medicine cats in that book, and I would assume that means that those are cats that they constantly talk about, and that they're constantly like, oh well, I don't know. Remember when this person did this? This is why I'm teaching you how to do this. It's a tiny Gore's fur. Gorser's design is like super complicated. I should probably simplify it. I like how I don't know. We'll never get a plushie of any of the... Actually, didn't we get like a Grey Wing thing once? Hold on, let me double check. A backpack hanger. Yeah, Grey Wing keychain that was like crazy. I actually wish I had this because it's really cute. I like that he's all starry. I mean, I guess I could make one that's like this. I could just make my own. Opinion on Blue Star? I like her. I, in fact, have done an entire video on her, so I do like her. I feel like I can only do videos on cats that I actually like enjoy. Like entire videos. Because you have to dedicate like months of your life to that. Yeah. You're only missing one? I have all the minis. Smile. The Tiger Star Tawny Pelt one is okay. What's the Tawny Pelt one? But yeah, I like the minis. I kind of wish... No, they're doing more with them now. Well, they were doing more with them, but the last ones that came out, I don't think they had any cats that were like really different. Like they had like the Frostpaw ones, like a lot really different. I don't know. And they had the Adder with Ravenpaw ones. I don't know. There we go. I'm gonna move them. I'm gonna scooch them down. It's been so long. Do they, like, regularly restock the minis? I don't have any of the plushies because I think they're ugly. And also, stuffed animals take up a lot more space than, like, little tiny figures. Also, I mean, like, I'm giving them money. I give them so much money. It's insane. Who do I want to draw next? Clear sky. I mean, Cinder is supposed to be like a dark gray cat. She's like smoky dark gray. And I'm pretty sure Crowfeather is described exactly the same way. Dark smoky gray. So they're like supposed to be the same exact colors. I feel like these guys are too big. Like, I feel like I need to shrink them a little bit. I mean, Gorsford's tall, but he's like... Okay, yeah, that's good. Who's the worst dad? Probably 1 star. But that's not true. A-Fusion. Clear Sky and 1 star, both abandoned kittens. So, I mean, they're probably pretty close. Let's see. Pine Needle. There's a lot of black cats in Dawn of the Clans that you start realizing once you like draw them all together. What am I using? I'm using Photoshop. There's a lot of black and white cats and black cats in Dawn of the Clans. I feel like most cats that are giving cats names don't know the names of herbs. Lovely. Like, if you think about it, they're probably like, I don't know the names of herbs. I know the names of the fish I catch. Trout. The brush settings? I feel like once I get a brush into the settings I want, I like barely ever change them when I'm using Photoshop. How do I want his other leg? I'm having trouble. I had to learn how to use Clip Studio Paint, and honestly, sometimes I feel like the brush settings in Clip Studio Paint they don't like change the brush enough. Like, I actually like how much you can modify the Photoshop brushes, like you can with the scattering and everything. With Clip Studio Paint sometimes, I mean, you can like I guess you can add settings, so that's not true. But I don't know. I also tend not to change my settings in Clip Studio Paint on brushes once I get them like down. I don't know, I guess I just don't really think about brush changes that much. I feel like he needs to be shorter. He needs to be a little squished. He is a baby. He's a little baby kitten. Thank you, Elise. But yeah, I've had to learn, I have to relearn Illustrator because I haven't used Illustrator in like 10 years, and I'm applying for a bunch of jobs that like on their requirements is like to use Illustrator. I tell them that I'm like proficient in Illustrator, but you know, you just lie on resumes, so like I won't tell them that I know how to do stuff in Illustrator, but it's probably going to take me like 3 times as long than like someone who's actually used it for a really long time. Hey Shane, I just saw your message. How do I... Okay, he has a little... He just has a little tapered tail. I like how he's kind of in the same exact position. Like his paws are in the same position in this little tiny baby picture of him than he is in the upper picture. Also, why did I make him so dark? What do I want to do? I guess I'll just lighten him up a little bit. And then give him a little pink. And he needs some eyes. And he needs to not be sitting on top of dust muzzles. Head. make my layers taller. There we go. Pine needle. Car? What do you mean? Are you guys like hearing my AC in the background? Sad face, if that's happening. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Oh, well, let me know if you guys do hear my AC in the background because I can turn up the gate a little bit. It's down really low. But I have like a really sensitive microphone that does pick up that crap. Hey, sweet comic frisk dreamer. Thanks. Little baby kittens. These guys are like, I was trying to put my, I was trying to put like an actual age on these cats. It's been, almost 2 hours. Let me do a stretchy stretch while I look this up. But it's hard to put like an exact age on people. Like, I think that the youngest ones here are, Eagle Feather, Duno, Stormpelt, Drizzle, and Pine Needle. I think that they're like probably like 4 or 5 months old. Clover, Thistle, and Dust Muzzle are probably like 6 moons old. So they're not really like super kittens, but they are like pretty young. In Dawn of the Clans, they let like kittens that are like 4 months old are allowed to like go wherever. It's crazy. Like, at 3 months old, they're like, okay, you can hunt rabbits now. I actually want to edit his... I want it so that more yellow is visible on his eye, so he doesn't look super weird. This is Photoshop. It's on the top left of the stream. It's not that. I'm on a computer. And I would consider it a program. A platform? What's a like YouTube? I'm streaming onto YouTube. Okay, I think I have Thistle, yeah. Thistle does not look like a cat. Look at this man. He almost looks like he's related to Starflower. I'm 29 now. Hey, same age, Viva. And I'm also rereading the book, so don't feel bad. Sometimes it's like, oh, I'm 29 and I'm reading Warrior Cat still. But it's like, it's not, I mean, you were the demographic when it came out. Like, there's no reason why you shouldn't still be reading them, in my opinion. It's kind of like how your parents listen to the music or, like, watch movies from that time frame and, like, they still enjoy it because it came out when, I don't know. I don't feel bad. How many subs do I have? I think you can check. I don't know exactly. I don't usually keep track of my subs. I feel like it's kind of like, I don't know, very unhealthy to be hyper fixated on how many subscriptions, followers, whatever. Okay, I'm actually going to sketch him out a little bit more because I feel like he needs to be a little smaller. Okay, so it only picks up the air conditioner when I talk. I can turn up the gate a little bit. Because it also, like, holds for a really long time after it starts recognizing my voice. So I should probably turn down the hold. And then also, like, maybe turn it up, like, 1 decibel. I'll listen to stream after today and modify it accordingly. In college studying animation. Well, good luck with that. Very exciting. Well, thank you for the sub. Yeah. I would love to, like, turn off the air conditioner while I'm streaming, but if I turn it off, the time that I stream, by the time that I'm, like, about right now, like 4 to 4:30-ish, the sun starts coming into my bedroom window, and it starts to heat up my room so much. Like, it'll get to, like, 86 in my room. And it becomes quite unbearable. I just have ventilation issues in my room. Aw. Well, enjoy it, Sandblossom. So meta. I, like, almost exclusively watch streams as, like, my background noise. That's why I don't mind when people, like, are like, I can't talk, I'll just lurk. Because I'm like, that's what I do, like, all the time. I know I said I was going to sketch this, but it kind of ended up not being a sketch, did it not? But I think I'll just simplify his hair tufts to be, like, 1, because he's really tiny. I think he's one of the oldest kittens. In this picture, so he's probably not too big. I mean, he's probably like apprentice-sized-ish. See, Dreamer Frisk. Wow, lots of people finding me for the first time today. To be fair, I'm not very active on YouTube right now. I do want to, like, post a compilation of a lot of my map parts into one video so that I can unlist some of my, like, individual map parts, because I can't do, like, channel subscriptions or do a lot of, like, new YouTube content that they've added for, like, YouTube channels because I have a lot of copyrighted stuff on my channel and they won't let me like do any of that when I have so many videos with copyright claims. Sad. My favorite cat drawn in this piece. That's an interesting question. Let's see. I honestly like Thorn and Dew over here. I like their expressions a lot. But I mean, I like my River Ripple, so I'm always satisfied with how he turns out. Your friend told you about this live stream. Ah, the word of mouth comes through yet again. For beginners, on what particular thing? Like beginning drawing, beginning like digital drawing, beginning drawing cats, backgrounds? Because like generally I would just like keep drawing. And don't compare yourself to like, I wouldn't compare yourself to someone who's been drawing for, well, really don't compare yourself to anyone because people learn at different rates and since I was 8 years old. That's crazy. I wasn't even, I guess I don't think I was on the internet. Well, I don't think the internet really was that prevalent when I was 8 years old. What was 8? I was in 2003, I was 8. So I guess it was prevalent. And I didn't really go online probably until... I remember watching YouTube in like 2006 or something like that. Playing Club Penguin and Neopets and stuff like that. I didn't get into drawing on the computer until I was like 12. Always Gold. I should watch that again. I'm like rereading Dawn of the Clans and I'm like, I need to re-watch Dawn of the Clans maps like Centuries and Always Gold and other ones. There aren't that many Dawn of the Clans maps, unfortunately. So sad. 2003, that's when Warriors came out. Yeah, I didn't start reading Warriors until like 2006, I want to say. So, and I didn't get caught up until I think this Dark River was one of the first books that I had to wait on. So 2007. So I didn't get caught up until 2007. This soul. I was the host of StarClan's Chosen, Elise. I did have quite a few, or I helped with quite a few parts in it. And I had a part. I had the last part. It was very fun, or it was a very, I mean, I like hosting things. So it was a lot of work. Because I think there was like 100 and... I think it ended up being like over 130 people that were in StarClan's Chosen that I had to like corral around. So it can get overwhelming at times. But overall, I had a very good experience hosting it. What's up, warrior cats? The brutal Maple Shade map. I was not, and I have no idea what that map is. I haven't been involved. I'm gonna move him up a little bit. I haven't been involved in any maps since StarClan's Chosen. I guess I was in the Rusty AU, that Dragon Wolf Rook, like that video. I did a background for it. I did like there's a shot where it's like pans out to Rusty. I don't remember. It's Never Say Die? No. What was it called? Next Up Forever. I did a background for that map. It was a giant tree. But I wasn't like involved in hosting it or anything. I was just helping with that one background. Time to go shave my legs. I don't remember the last time I shaved my legs. I really don't wear shorts or like anything that would show off my legs that often. So I don't shave my legs unless I know that I'm gonna be like going to a pool or something. I could not be bothered. She has a very flat face. And I have her like going like, yeah. This is Clover. So this is Thistle's sister, who is the cat I just draw over here. This is Thistle's sister, and this is Milkweed's Kits, who is a queen that joins ThunderClan, I think in a Force Divided in Dawn of the Clans. That's your fun fact for today. Thistle is cheering on a play fight that the young cats for this gathering are putting on from Drizzle and Eagle Feather. Only shaving for prom. Literally shaving for special occasions. I'm gonna shorten her mouth. This is gonna be hard because she has like bangs that are really close to her. It's gonna be hard to like get her to read well. I might not have her as like maybe something like this. Make her have a little bit more of a subdued expression. Even though I'm pretty sure she's... Well, you never know. I'll say, like, this cat that I'm drawing is probably no one's favorite, and then someone will be like, I actually really like Clover Warrior Cats, and I think you did her dirty, yada yada yada. There's someone out there that's a Clover stan. See ya, Sand. Good luck studying. I always liked when the cats gathered at Fourtrees after the first battle. It was nice to see the cats get along after the conflict. Yeah. This happens at the end of Dawn of the Clans because I wanted it's like the first official full moon gathering that they ever host. Okay, I'm not liking this. I need to work on this a little bit more. I feel like maybe I should just not have her face. Like I should just make her eyeless. I don't remember 90% of the cats from Dawn of the Clans. I don't think that's... a lot of people don't. To be fair, this is Clover, and I think that you're not supposed to remember. She's a pretty minor character. I'm gonna make her hair go a little bit higher. Or maybe I should make her hair fling out this way. See, it's getting a little muddied up with her nose and everything. Yeah, that looks fine. Also, in this reference picture, she's like older. Like I probably drew her as like a pretty much like an adult cat that's like a year old or whatever. And she is younger in this picture. Why am I having such a hard time? With this pose, it's not like it's a complicated pose. I think it's because she's so tiny that I'm just having a hard time. Whoa, her tail is like a tail. She does have like huge fringe. She is very not cat-shaped. Are we gonna do... There's like that meme where it's like, what... like this character XXX would shop at this store. So in this theme it'd be like Clover shops at Hot Topic. Like what's her store that she shops at? You know? Scourge shops at Hot Topic. But like Spotted Leaf shops at Kohl's or something. You guys know that meme? Forever 21. Very true. Like, what's the classy version of Hot Topic where it's like you don't want to actually shop there because you don't want any of your friends to know you shop at Hot Topic, but you're finding similar stuff. I don't know. Okay. Now we color her, and then we can forget about her existence yet again. I can't find my knee. She does kind of have like the stockings, doesn't she? She really is a Hot Topic. She's even got like the leg stockings. Maybe she's a gamer and she shops at GameStop. Nah, I think she'd just go full Hot Topic, honestly. I wouldn't call GameStop classy Hot Topic though. GameStop is dead. I mean, there's a GameStop. There's like 3 GameStops within 20 minutes of me, and I live in the middle of nowhere. So I don't think it's dead. Actually, I'm just gonna give her 2. GameStop is like 21st century Blockbuster. But like, Blockbuster was 21st century. What? I guess it was also in the 80s and 90s. Oops, sorry, I hit the mic again. Another fellow artist in the middle of nowhere. There's cornfields and there's forest around me, and that's pretty much it. The nearest grocery is like 15 minutes away. And when I say GameStops are like 20 minutes away from me, I mean like 30 minutes. Time is an illusion. Clover. Ohio moment. Midwest moment. Oops. Oh man, there's so many cats in this picture. I'm like, wow, I've drawn so many. The corn meme? I know of corn memes. I do not know of the corn meme. Yeah, dear, whenever I visit my sister, she lives in New York, and there's a Trader Joe's, like, you can walk to it within like 3 minutes because it's like a block away from her. And I'm like, bro, the nearest Trader Joe's to me is like 50 minutes away. For some reason, the stream OBS takes a while for it to show up on screen sometimes. Like, it's just weird. This art rocks. You mean like the great rock right here? Got him. Thank you, though. But yeah, every time I zoom out, I'm like, man, I've got so many cats done. I've got to be almost done. Nope. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 more cats to do. Wow. I wonder what the stream delay is like. I mean, it can't be that bad. I have it on low latency, but sometimes I remember when I used to stream, latency was like 2 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes. Like, you guys would say something and I would respond. It would take forever. But it doesn't seem like it's that long now. It's probably like at most 20 or 30 seconds. At most. It's probably worse on, like, if you're on your phone. On mobile, I get so much stream latency, I, like, don't even bother chatting. Ugh. I mean, I have it on the lowest latency possible. I think YouTube just has really bad latency problems. Like, 10-second delay is like something I guess you'd have to go on Twitch for. I have one more kitten to draw, so let's just finish him. Would you consider doing a map using the song Good Day for Dreaming by Ruel? I don't know that song, but so that will be a no from me. I do have, like, songs that I could make projects out of. One second, I'm switching my headphones. Please switch. There we go. What? There we go. But yeah, I do have, like, an entire list of, like, songs that I could see, like, I have an image in my brain of, like, oh yeah, this could be an animated warrior cat video. Now, probably only, like, 5% of those songs I ever actually use or, like, end up committed enough to, like, put together a pre-production thing for a project. So there's a lot of them. I should put together, I've been thinking of, like, compiling a lot of them into, like, into a playlist to be like, this is my playlist for possible Dawn of the Clans ideas, and, like, then I could just throw, like, this is my Tall Shadow one, this is my multiple Grey Wing Clear Sky ones, because, like, I have so many Grey Wing Clear Sky ideas that I will never do because there's so many of them, and I already did a Grey Wing Clear Sky concept. I don't know why he looks traumatized. I just drew him like that. I don't remember him ever actually having any dialogue, so I'm not sure. I guess I kind of imagine him as, like, a nervous Nelly. Like, even in this picture, he's, like, looking back at his parents and being like, are you sure that we can go over there? Whoops. Except I don't like them, so we're gonna exit out of that. Quit staring at me with them big old eyes. He definitely got the Grey Wing eyes. He is like Grey Wing's nephew. He has a very square head. That's an interesting question, Pickle Pants, because I feel like the community has slowly over time, and this happens all the time with the like map community, because I specifically remember when the first Warriors maps were made, there was no script and there was no set designs, and it was just a free-for-all. You just grabbed whatever you wanted and you used whatever designs you wanted and stuff like that. And then scripts came along, which at first people were like freaking out about. They're like, we don't want scripted stuff. It kills the creativity and yada, 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 yada. And then people became okay with scripted maps. And then one of the first maps that had set designs for the characters was Little Fang, which was an Alley Cat and Ya map. And people freaked out when there was like set designs. They were like, set designs kills the creativity, yada, yada, yada. It's always killing the creativity, you know, like it's so restricting to have set designs and whatever. And now it's like a standard. Like if a map doesn't have set designs, it's like no, like you need set designs. And now it's like the storyboard thing, you know? And when some of the first storyboarded maps was like, there was the Cattails one I was part of and all this stuff. And honestly, I don't usually join storyboarded maps, but that's because that's my favorite part of doing a map is like doing the storyboard. So I don't like storyboarded maps. I like just scripted. Well, I'm still holding on to that 30 Seconds to Mars song, Velo, that I want to do an unscripted free-for-all. I feel like it's the perfect song to be like, unscripted, claim your scene, how it used to be where people would like be like, I'm using the Scourge killing Tiger Star scene for this part, and then you say that in the description and now no one else can use the Scourge killing Tiger Claw scene. I wouldn't say it's a not red flag. I mean, StarClan Chosen wasn't storyboarded. Yeah, well, it's just like whichever creator is the most popular in making maps, it's like that's what becomes like the norm. So like when Whisker Moon was making maps and was like one of the most popular map creators, she didn't have set designs. So there were no set designs. And then when like Alley Cat and Ya started making a lot more maps that had set designs, people started making set designs. And then it was like when Cheetah Z started, or I think it was what It wasn't Cheetah Z. It was someone else that had scripted maps, and then it started becoming like a thing. I think Cheetah Z started like when there was like all this pre-production, like set, like color, like sceneries for, I don't know. I remember a lot of their maps having a lot of like super pre-production. Like, this is exactly the color scheme you need to do for this part. And I mean, my maps have color scripts, but that's because I really like making color scripts. So that's typically part of the way that I script is with color scripts. So that's why I did color scripts. Okay, I'm not liking this. Well, if you're putting boards to music or any type of audio pickle, then it's an animatic at that point. It's not boards. So people will say that this is a storyboarded map, but it's actually it's already an animatic. Like, they're just not using storyboard properly. I've moved to the point, Dia, where I think that after StarClan's Chosen, there were certain parts in StarClan's Chosen where I think I should have had boards made for them, because I really wanted like a specific concept created. Like, just some boards. I'm specifically thinking of the part where like there were 6 parts on screen. Like, I definitely had a vision of how that would turn out enough to a point where I probably should have just like boarded like do a partial board. But there were a lot of parts in that where I was like, oh, well, there could be multiple different ways to portray this, so I think I would go towards maybe my next project having partial boards for like parts that I definitely know that I want to turn out a specific way. And then there are people in the community that prefer to have boards. Like, people that just want to animate would prefer to have like directing already done for them so they can just focus on the animation. But then there's people like me that it's like, well, my favorite part is like doing the directing and like the boarding and all that. So I'm not gonna, I just don't, yeah, Dia. So it's like, I don't really want to join a project that's already boarded for me, because that takes away like 70% of my fun of boarding, like of like doing maps. So it's a whole give and take. It's hard to please everyone. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Dia, that does make sense. It's just like, I don't really like animating that much. Like, on all of the productions that I'm working on, I'm not an animator. I really don't enjoy animating that much. So I don't know. I'm like completely okay with watching other people animate boards that I've done. I mean, I like animating for the end product. Does that make sense? Like, I like animating because I like the finished product, but the actual, like, process of animating is just so draining. Yeah, Velo. I mean, I definitely feel like my next project, if I feel like I'm gonna be more confident in like telling, like not okaying board, like giving suggestions to boards and like directing. I mean, I already did in StarClan shows, and I would give directing advice to people, but part of the fun for me is like giving, with hosting maps, is giving people like when people tell me like, oh, I learned a lot, or I got like it was a really good experience or something, like I feel like I've gained knowledge, or I feel like proud of what I did, or you know, stuff like that. .5 seconds long. That's it. Like, I don't think I'd ever do another. That's a lie. I love the concept of split screen. I feel like I'd never try to tell like 8 separate stories in one video ever again. But I've definitely considered doing like dual stories, like Pine Star and Rowan Star. I had a concept for that would be like, I don't think it would be completely full, like it would be, there'd just be aspects that would be like split screen. Dia, I've sent you this. I literally sent you this. Like a year ago or something. See, the split screens are like something that needs to be boarded though. That's what I came to the conclusion with StarClan Chosen. So I did not board. The only parts that I boarded the intro and I boarded the end sequence. But that was because I was pitching that concept to people. And I was going to do the intro at the beginning. And then I just like ended up splitting it up because I just didn't have enough time to do the whole intro, you know? So I already had the boards done because I basically dropped the part and passed it on to people. But I don't know. Split screen needs like a cohesive direction of everything that's on screen, like more than what I gave to certain participants. I mean, everyone was working together, but there were some people during the production that would ghost, or that were obviously not looking at the parts that were surrounding them. And that I should have like picked up, like, and helped them out. Well, you could always find like, make the boards and then find someone. I would put together an animatic for you, Velo, so that I could get more experience putting together, like, working in After Effects. So you could find someone that likes comp and wants to create animatics for you, that you could just give your boards and they could make it. Because there's like plenty of people. I mean, I could name a couple people that would probably put together an animatic for you. I'll add eye shines to everyone later. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, Dia. Like, I have a Frostpaw idea, like an idea for a Frostpaw map that I would like to storyboard, because, or at least partial storyboards. Like, sometimes I'll like want to storyboard specific aspects of, and I get this question a lot where it's like, oh, how do you end up storyboarding like an entire A and V or whatever, because it gets like overwhelming, and I like split it into bundles and like we'll work on like only like 30 seconds at a time, because there are certain parts of the song where it's like I know exactly what I want this to look like. So just board that, and then if there are parts that aren't as like clear in your mind, then just don't board them. Like bring in someone else. I have board like board books from movies that a lot of Japanese, well actually I've only ever seen like Japanese media like release boards. Like I have the Evangelion movie boards, and I have there are certain studios that will release boards for like episodes of like popular shows that they do, or popular, I don't know, for some, like a lot of Japanese media does it. But there are also like websites and stuff that'll have like, yeah, there's books you can buy, and then there's websites that'll do like specific shots and like the breakdown of like why this shot was filmed this way, or if you listen to director like commentary on movies, like sometimes the directors will be like, I shot this specific shot because this made this emotion the most, you know, like I don't know, you just have to do it and you learn as you do it. I think I'm gonna move Stormpel like right here. Or maybe, well, I want him to like be looking back. Yeah, right there is fine. And then he's like, well, maybe not, because I kind of want, but then the tail. I'm not making any sense. How the boards would look. The art and design books, some of them will have boards. Like I have a couple I have the art and design of like the Avengers movie, and it had some boards in it, so like you just have to look at stuff. Yeah. You shouldn't spend that much time on a board. Like just enough time for it to be readable, especially if you're working in a production where it's like you're just getting an idea across before, like, to a director or something, and they'll probably want revisions and everything, you know? Like, you don't have to clean it up the first time you go through it. Like, my first boards for projects, they literally look like this. Like, this will be my board. Oh my gosh, look, I'm so sad. This will be like my first board. Just to like get the thing. Stormpelt's Jagged Peaks and Holly's kit. Like like my boards legitimately look like that. But those are like when I'm just working on boards for like personal use. Jagged Peak has a very strange shaped head. Kind of looks like too much of a kitten in the picture that I drew for him. But whatever. They don't look like cats, but they do. That's a very true statement. Some of them just genuinely do not look like cats. It's also, like, I tend to give cats, like, super bunny ears because my model, aka my own cat, has, like, ears that are... Her ears literally are like this. Like, that's what my actual cat's ears look like. So I tend to use her as, like, a model. So all my cats have, like, super bunny ears. There's a cat named Rabbit Ear. She's actually in, she's in the Wing Clan picture that's on, like, that goes through the screen on the examples. How do I want, because his... I don't even know how I'm supposed to draw him. She is in One Star's Confession. Oh my goodness gracious. You can tell that I'm getting tired of drawing because nothing is turning out well. Of course, Jagged Peak is like... I feel like I need to update his design because it's not... Like, I need to make him have less of a baby face. Don't mind me just drawing Jagged Peak really quick. I feel like I want him to have, like, a more pronounced jaw. Or, like, smaller eyes. Something like that. I honestly feel like he could benefit from the ear tuft treatment. To give him, like, little peaks on his fur. Jagged Peak's kind of a douchebag in the first battle. I kind of imagine Jagged Peak looking... I don't know. Like, I think he needs more of, like, a square face, like Clear Sky. Like, I imagine him looking way more like Clear Sky than he does Grey Wing. I don't know why. That's how I feel. I'll just simplify him to have those two right now. Like, my picture of Beetle Paw from SkyClan. I gotta look at what this looks like. Beetle Paw. Oh, this guy. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, they are kind of like the same. You think that's what Jagged Peak looks like? I could see that. Is Clear Sky Sky Star? Yeah. Skystar is like the worst name ever, so I never say Skystar. It's like the stupidest name. Clear Sky. Forever. I also like don't call any of the founder cats like by their star name. Except for Thunder. I'll say Thunderstar. Yeah, when he's like little... See, Jagged Peak's one of the ones that I want to do like growing up pics. So, in my magnum opus that I have showed you guys... Oh, I'll show it again because you guys have to know that I'm telling the truth when I say I have my magnum opus in the works. And also, this is the, here. My magnum opus. Which is me trying to figure out the entire timeline of, Dawn of the Clans and all of Warrior Cats. So here, this is the Sun Trail, right? Let me pull down the other ones. So, because I wanted to know exactly probably how old Jagged Peak was when he leaves. And hold on, let me pull down the mountains. There it is. So they leave to follow the Sun Trail. Exactly a week later, Jagged Peak leaves. So let me hide this one. This is like the perfect music for this. So they leave, and Jagged Peak is, how old is Jagged Peak when they leave? He is... I marked him as 1 to 3 months old. Yeah. You like my family tree spreadsheet too? I've only done the ancients. So, I mean, he's like 3 months old. So he is like a really, really tiny kitten. But then when he breaks his leg, he's... Where's the Tall Shadows camp? When he breaks his leg, he's like 10 months old? Thunder's born. Yeah. Anyway, that's my magnum opus. I have to show it every stream. I'm reading the first battle, and I'm trying to figure out exactly how old Thunder is during the first battle, but I keep having to push back. It's I don't know, there's so many like continuity errors on like how long Thunder stayed in Clear Sky's camp. What was I drawing? Oh, I was drawing Tiny Jagged Peak. Yeah, I'll release this spreadsheet eventually. It's mostly just for me to like properly populate my giant camp pictures. Thunder's not a baby though. He's like... I think he's probably... Well, he is a baby. But he's at least 6 months old when he leaves to join Clear Sky. And he's at least at Clear Skies for 2 months. At least. So, in the first battle, he's probably like 10 or 11 months old. I don't think so, because, I mean, Frostpaw's gonna take that. Frostpaw's gonna take that cake unless she like suddenly grows like... She's only like 9 months old right now. Baby Jagged Peak. is not 13. You're lying. Thunder is at least like 13 months old at the end of... Okay, Frostpaw was born... Oh man. I think you're right. No! She was born and then she's 6 months old. So she was born at like the end of winter. I don't... She's like not that old. I think they have it on there. That's not true. So this is a misconception that I've noticed. So with Thunder's age, also Fireheart was like only 9 months old when he or 10 months old or something when he becomes Fireheart. But kittens cannot. So at the end of the Sun Trail, when Storm has Thunder and she like goes off and Greywing finds her, he doesn't actually. So when he sees Storm leave Clear Sky, she is like visibly pregnant. Like she's about to have kittens when she leaves. Then a month after that is when Greywing actually goes to look for Storm. So it's kind of implied that Storm had the kittens like a month ago, and they're already like a month old when she like gets fridged. So Thunder is already a month old when that happens. Like when he gets rejected by Clear Sky and stuff. And I think that's, at least in my fixed timeline, that's the case. So that gives Thunder already an extra month. And then there's there's like a 3-month time skip between Thunder Rising and the Sun Trail. So Thunder's probably, by my estimation, he's probably about 13 months old. So he'd be the same as Frost. Because at the end of Path of Stars, it's like the very end of winter. I don't like that. I'm just gonna have his tail like this. And according to my magnum opus, let me double check again. According to my magnum opus, Thunder was born in... at the end of fall. So he would be, during the first battle, he's almost a year old. Maybe. Depends. I think that Thunder was probably like 15 or 16 months old at the end of... People want me to redraw my Frostpaw to like update her to her new look of what all happened to her in Thunder, but I'm like, I'm not gonna redraw her until she gets her like warrior name. But it seems like she's never gonna get her warrior name. Like, I'm almost wondering if she's just gonna sacrifice herself at the end. the Starless Clan or something. Because they haven't even, like, teased that she's gonna be getting her name in anything. You think it's gonna be at the end of Star? It's crazy, though, because they haven't said anything. I feel like they're not going to pull that because they pulled that last time. Although, I could see it being like, well, it's called Star, so she's got to be in StarClan now. Because it seems like every single time that a book, except for Sky, but it's like every single time there's a book, it's like that's the clan that Frostball was in. Not every single cat. There's... So Starflower's not in this. Slate is not in this. Both of their kittens are not in it. Spotted Fur is not in it. But that's about it. And they're not in it because in the books, it specifically states that they did not show up. I hate my Holly design. I need to redesign her. She just looks bad. Like, I was not thinking about it. I need to design her differently so it's, like, really obvious that it's not Holly Leaf. Like, she needs to look really different. She's a very fluffy cat. Maybe she'll be... I kind of imagine her being just, like, super intimidating in Jagged Peak, just, like, not being that tall. Spot Fur. Maybe I'll have her, like... I don't know. I'm having a hard time drawing now. Nothing's coming out good, so I probably have to end it here, even though it's only been... Well, it's almost been 3 hours. Sigh. I'm, like, not satisfied with anything I'm drawing right now. So I'll probably have to end it here. I'll see if I can stream on Saturday. It depends how much I can get done tomorrow, art-wise. If I could, like, dedicate another few hours on drawings. But I'm not promising anything. I do promise to be back on Tuesday, though. I will be streaming on Tuesday. But, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to end it here. But thanks for watching, everybody. I got some subscriptions. Thanks for the subscriptions. And I will see you guys later. Bye bye.